Hi, my name's Holly and welcome to your 30-minute yoga practice. I'm happy to be guiding you in this beautiful day. So we'll start off in child's pose. For child's pose, you'll just head onto your hands and knees here, and you'll open your knees up slightly and walk your hands forward. Gradually, your forehead may descend to the mat. If it can, great. If it can't, also good. You can just have your hands planted and relax. The longer you're in this, you may find that you can put your elbows to the mat, gradually walk forward a little bit. If you happen to have a bolster or a rounded up blanket, you can put that in front and rest on there. It's very calming, very beautiful, just like today. So as we start off in child's pose, I'll ask you to take a few deep, relaxing breaths just to arrive in this moment and at your practice. It's very soothing. This is an all levels yoga practice. I'll offer a few modifications. If something's a little too much, then we can do a little bit something else. I think it's going to be good. So from child's pose, I'll get you to plant your hands, curl your toes, and push up into down dog. With down dog, you're going to be stretching your shoulders, your hamstrings. If you pedal your feet a little bit too, you'll get a bit more of a stretch too. So if you just walk back and forth like that, walk your dog on the beach, so to speak, just to warm up and get ready for our practice as we'll start moving into some sun salutations. So from down dog, I'll get you to walk, step, or jump forward to the front of your mat. Your feet will be roughly hip distance apart. Place your hands onto your shins, and then exhale, fold down. With an inhale, you'll bring your arms up overhead, and exhale, lower your hands to your heart. Take a minute to just breathe in this moment. And then from here, we'll, with an inhale, sweep your arms up again. And with an exhale, fold and step your feet back to a plank position, lower down. And then with an inhale, cobra, so you'll lift your chest off the mat. You can lift your hands up too. This is a back bend. And then curl your toes and push back into downward dog again. Or if down dog is starting to be a bit too much, you can be in tabletop just like this. And we'll take a few moments to just breathe there. So let's do another round of that. From down dog or tabletop, we'll walk, step, or jump forward. And with an inhale, you'll half lift. And with an exhale, fold. With an inhale, your arms come up overhead. And with an exhale, your hands come to your heart. Take a few deep breaths here just to recenter, recalibrate. And then with an inhale, your arms come up again. And with an exhale, your hands step back. We're into plank pose again. Fold down. And this time, if you'd like, you can do up dog by pushing your hands firmly into the mat. Your knees will lift off the mat as well. And then curl your toes back to down dog. Take a few breaths there, or tabletop, and just recenter. So from here into down dog or tabletop, I'll get you to lift your right leg up and bring it through to your right wrist. Your left foot will pivot so it's parallel to the mat. And with an inhale, arms up, and then open. Warrior two. Your right knee should be over your right ankle, your left foot parallel to the back edge of your mat, and your arms teed out. Take a few deep breaths here. And then we'll windmill your arms and back to down dog. And now the left side. So my positioning here is going to have to change. So we'll lift your left leg now, bring it through to your left wrist. Your right foot will be parallel to the back edge of your mat. Left knee over left ankle. Up and open. Warrior two. Nice deep breaths here. The waves are getting a little hypnotic. We'll windmill, plant your hands, and step back into down dog again. Take a few deep breaths there. Pedal your dog if you'd like. Now from here, we're going to do something similar, but not quite. So again, from down dog or tabletop, I'll ask you to bring your right hand to your right wrist, your left foot parallel, but this time we're going to straighten both legs. We're moving into triangle. So from here, we'll lift your arms again, and then reach forward with your right hand, and then bring your right hand to your shin. If you need to bend your right knee a little bit, that's perfectly fine. And then your left hand can be on your hip or up overhead. This way you're opening your heart, letting it shine out. A few deep breaths here. Now I'll get you to put your left hand back onto your hip, come back up, pivot your right toes, and now this time you'll pivot your left toes out. Teeing your arms, get you to reach forward with your left arm, and then bring your left hand to your left shin. Your right hand can be on your hip or up to the sky. Opening your heart, opening your chest. You can lean your head back slightly if you'd like. And just long, deep breaths here. Good. Now from here, I'll get you to bend your left knee. This time plant both hands. And you could lower down and then come out with cobra or up dog. And then back to downward dog. Take a few moments to breathe deeply there, just to realign. Now would be a good time for some water. All right, so heading into bridge pose now. We're gonna lie down on our mats. So from here, if you could bend your knees, have your feet roughly hip distance apart, and try to tickle the back of your heels with your fingertips, or as close as you can. And now, wriggle your shoulder blades back, opening your chest a bit more. With an inhale, we'll get you to lift your pelvis. From here, you have a couple more options. You could grab the edges of your mat with your hands, like you're pulling the mat apart. This will give you a bit more momentum to lift your chest a little higher. If you're very flexible in the shoulders, you could also wriggle your hands underneath you, interlace your fingers, and then push your forearms into the mat, pulling your shoulders back more and lifting up. Make sure to maintain the natural arch in your neck. Don't smush your neck down. Just maintain a nice, relaxing neck. A few deep breaths here. And then on your next exhale, release your hands wherever they are, slowly lower down, and stretch your legs out. Take a moment to just breathe, soak that in. Bit of a back bend there. So now I'll get you to lift your arms overhead into diamond, bend your knees, and roll onto your side, pushing yourself up to a seated position. We're going to be heading into pigeon pose. So we have a couple options. If you want to take down dog, awesome, feel free to. Otherwise, you can also do it from tabletop. So to head into pigeon, if you're in down dog, you'll bring your right knee to your right wrist. If you're in tabletop, it's still the same thing. Your right knee comes to your right wrist. Your shin will be at roughly a 45-degree angle. If you're really flexible, it might be parallel to the top edge of your mat. Your left leg will be extended long behind you, your toes flat, and then just ease into this. If you find this is a little too pinching into your right knee, put some more weight onto your right hip, and then just bring your left leg up alongside you. So this way then, more of the weight is taken off your right knee. And if you need to bring your left knee up more, by all means. You can gradually work to having your left leg straight behind you. It might take some time. That's perfectly fine. So from here in Pigeon, you can stay upright, do a little bit of a back bend, or you can gradually walk your hands forward. You can rest your forearms on the mat. You can bring your chest down. If you still have that blanket or pillow handy, you could rest that here and rest your chest on it. It's quite nice then. Or you can have your forehead resting on stacked hands, stacked fists, and down. It's a lovely deep hip opener. So this is one of those poses where the longer you hold it, the juicier it is, but it so pays off dividends. Whether you're up here or lower down. Take a few deep breaths here. Good. On your next exhale, I'll get you to curl your left toes and push back either into down dog or tabletop. Take a moment to just breathe in. See how that feels compared to your left side, which we haven't worked on yet. There should be a little bit of a difference there. A few deep breaths. If you're in tabletop, you may want to do a little bit of cat-cow stretching to your back. So now let's work on the left side. So we'll bring your left knee to your left wrist. Your left shin will be at a 45-degree angle, and then you'll work to straighten your right leg behind you. If this is your tricky knee and this one hurts a bit, put your weight into your left hip and then bring your right leg up alongside you. You can have it right here, here, wherever, and working on straightening it behind you. So same thing again, you can be upright, or you may want to have that bolster, pillow, blankets handy to rest your chest on, or slowly walk your hands forward and ease into this. A few deep breaths here, just really absorbing this, feeling it into your left hip. And then on your next exhale, we'll come back up. This time though, we're gonna put your weight into your left hip and then swing your right leg around. We're gonna be going into cobbler's pose. So from here, the soles of your feet will touch, your knees out to the sides. You can hold on to your feet if you'd like, and then gradually you'll hinge forward. Try not to muscle your way into it, just let it happen very naturally, very progressively. If you're feeling quite flexible and open, you could also take your forearms under your calves and then round your back. This is a nice passive move, hold. Should be feeling this in your hips, your lower back, your groins. And just softening into this pose. Nice few calming breaths here. Good. I'll get you to slowly come back up and we'll lie down again. So now we're going to do a little bit of leg stretches here. So keeping your feet together, your legs straight, we'll bend your right knee and catch hold of it with your hands. If this is a bit too much, feel free to bend your left knee and place the sole of your foot on the mat. Otherwise, straighten and just pull your knee gradually towards your chest. Deep breaths here. Just letting this really sink into your hips, your knees. You can flex your right foot too, your left foot to make it a little more active. And now from here, well, we're going to do a bit of a twist. So taking your left palm to your right knee, your right arm alongside you, just tip your right knee to the left. You may have to adjust your hips so they're stacked a little bit. If your right knee is floating, that's okay. You may want to put a pillow under your knee here. Otherwise, just let the weight of gravity take care of this for you. You could also turn your neck to the right a bit for a bit of a neck stretch. Otherwise, try to keep it neutral. A few deep breaths here. Good. And then on your next inhale, we'll unravel, come back to lying flat on your back, straighten your legs. So now we'll do the left side, bending your left knee, catching hold of it with both hands. You may want to bend your right knee, place the sole of the foot on the mat, or keep it straight, and then gradually pull your left knee to your chest. A few deep breaths here. You can flex your feet if you'd like, keeping it a little more active. Nice deep breaths here. And now this time we'll take your right palm to your left knee, your left arm open, and then roll your hip to the side. You may have to stack your hips. You can put a pillow or something under your left knee if it's raised a little too high. Otherwise, just let gravity naturally take its course. You may want to turn your neck to the left, gaze over your hand, or keep it neutral. And then on your next inhale, I'll get you to bring your left knee back up, straighten your legs. You can take your feet roughly mat distance apart, your arms open, palms facing up, wriggle your shoulders back for shavasana, everyone's favorite pose. This is very nice, relaxing, therapeutic, so you can really feel all the effort that your body has gone through these last 30 minutes. Feeling every muscle and just letting it sink deeply into the mat. Breathe deeply from your diaphragm, ribs, up to your upper chest, and then exhale in reverse. Allow these breaths to be your deepest, most soothing breaths of the day. Good. When you're ready, you can bend your knees, arms overhead into diamond, roll onto your side, and gradually push yourself up. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day for yourself, for doing this, and for spending some time with me for this. Namaste.